Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and we're gonna do another little book. This is the Chapter 5 release. I don't have the box. The box, we can do this. Well, how about we do that? We'll do this. We'll just turn it sideways. The box would look something like this, but this is the Chapter 4 release. This Chapter 5 release was provided to us by Mr. Greg Lorenzi. I can't do the Greg, it just doesn't feel right, so it's Mr. Greg Lorenzi.
Another 615 Whiskey Club member.
Another Whiskey Club member, yeah, 615 Whiskey Club. This Chapter 5, which is their 2021 release, is named The Invitation. And the idea around this whiskey is if you are a bourbon drinker and you would like to start exploring outside of your comfort zone of bourbon, that's actually what Freddie Noe is going for in this release. Conveniently, you can pour your own, sir.
Oh, well, this is the first time.
You get to pour your own. So this
is like we don't have the card to say the.
We don't have the card.
The rick houses, the floors.
No, we don't have any of that. Now, officially, I actually have the Chapter 5 waiting for me up in New Jersey, but I have to go get that. So, what I do know from their press release is, this is a blend of 4 whiskeys.
Okay.
So we got a 2-year. And when I saw that, I was just like, really? So it's a 2-year, but they proofed it way down. So they didn't put it in the barrel. I think they put it in the barrel like 105-ish, like way low.
Low proof.
Super low. So it didn't go in, and it's not going to come off super young is the idea, but it's going to come off it's going to pull more.
More flavor to it.
Yeah, it's going to pull more, a little bit more of the oak out because you don't have to proof it down from there. A 3-year-old, 100% malted rye.
I'd love to know why he chose that.
That is something totally different. And Beam does not release 100% malted rye. Like, this is not something that they do at all.
That was an experiment.
Totally messing around. And then we got a 5-year-old straight bourbon, which, all right, so now you're hitting like the middle of the pack of most bourbons. You're going to get a little bit of oak notes, but more of the vanilla caramel thing going on. And a 15-year-old straight bourbon.
Yep.
Now you're talking leather, tobacco, oak. All those notes are going to blend that all together and bottle it at a 116.8 proof. And that is Little Book Chapter 5. And that is...
There's not a whole lot on the nose.
I'm getting a touch of proof, but it's not like a crazy proof. I'm getting a little bit of more of the rye. Like, I get a little rye spice.
Yeah, at the very bottom.
It's not super aggressive. I don't have the percentages. Again, the little card probably would give you more information of how much of each type of whiskey is going into this.
Yeah, there's not a ton on the nose at all.
It's not heavy. It's not a heavy nose.
I'm hoping to taste it and go back to it.
Something comes out. Yeah, I would agree. Okay, so I get a little bit of the Beam peanut.
Yeah.
That is there. No question about that. I do get a little herbal rye.
Ooh,
towards the minty note.
Yeah.
Of the herbal rye.
It dries out really
quickly. Yes. It dries out and then it just sits there. Sweetness.
You get the little warmth just hanging out right here.
There's a little hug.
Yeah.
Which is odd. 117 doesn't feel like it should have that good of a hug, but I got a little hug. Yay.
Like a one arm.
Yeah. Little bro hug. I got the Kentucky bro hug.
No, I go back to the nose and I get... Oh, damn.
I get a little corn sweetness. A little corny note to it.
I pick up more rye.
I get the rye notes. Is really what I get. I was expecting a little bit more of the peanut Jim Beam note. Not getting that a huge amount on the nose, way more on the palate.
I'm thinking the water's going to change this one.
Yeah, I think the water's gonna have a pretty big impact. The only good part is we each got 2 ounces, so we can really sample this guy.
So the problem is I tend to drink faster than you.
You do. You take bigger pulls. The rye herbal note.
I got a lot of sweet on that one.
I get a lot of rye herbal note.
I got the peanut, but I got a little, like a maple.
All right. Well, I'm going to sidetrack this a second. I heard
Rumor
mill. Booker's is going to re-release a rye, a Booker's rye. So they did it once. And
we saw it.
Yeah, and apparently buying that
bar.
bottle is
Never seen it
cheap.
before.
I knew it existed at the bar that we saw it at for a was it a 1 ounce or 2 ounce pour? I think it was a 2 ounce pour.
I don't know. I'm sure.
It was $100.
The guy next to us should have bought it.
He was tempted. It almost did. They only released one rye. I've heard the rumor that they're looking at releasing another Booker's rye. I don't know if it's going to be a Q4 release or if it's going to be a 2022 release.
I mean, there's enough market for it.
Why not? Give it a shot.
But when we saw it in the bar, I was like, whoa, never
Yeah, because that came out.
never seen that before.
All right, I'm totally stabbing in the dark here. I think the rye came out like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was like a special Booker's release of a rye. So the fact that they're looking to do it again, I assume you're waiting on this because you don't even have it in hand.
Yep.
Okay. But I'm interested to see what that tastes like.
Yep.
Especially since I think Beam Suntory Rye, isn't that Old Overholt? Isn't that owned by Beam Suntory? So it's that rye released as a Booker's release? Oof. Yes, please.
Yeah, we enjoy the $18 bottle.
Yeah, exactly. I just get more rye spice.
Yeah, the nose didn't change much for me.
I'm going to say, to me, the ethanol came down a touch. The rye spice came up a little bit. So it still comes off a little aggressively. That got sweet.
Then it got hotter. I got more spice in the back. Like a burn.
I don't get that at all. I got so much more corn sweetness up front.
It's very sweet after you get to the
big
burn.
Peanut note.
I didn't get any hug this time. I got the burn in the back of the throat, and as soon as it went down,
Just
sweet.
sweet.
Yep.
See, I got a big, like, sweet hit, and then like a peanut note, and it just kind of like just stayed sweet and just kind of like floated away.
No, I'm enjoying the aftertaste. Like it's good.
Now I get a little more peanut on the nose too. So this is Freddie Noe. All right, so there's so much history in all of the Jim Beam, but Booker Noe was like the man in Jim Beam. And then Fred Noe started Booker's as a nod to his father. And then Freddie Noe, who is starting to, like, he's really getting into his own and doing like his own distilling and all that kind of stuff. He actually spoke at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Yep. And like that, so that's what this line is for him. So he is doing it as a once a year release to he was referred to as Little Book, which is, so he's like apparently a lot like his grandfather and spent a lot of time with his grandfather based off of some of the stories that he told at the dinner that we went to.
He was nice enough to give us these too.
Yeah, we got nice little collections. We'll do this at some point. Actually, I know when we're going to do this. So yeah, Jim Beam just hit their 225-year
anniversary
2 years ago, I think it was, something along those lines. I remember
might have been last year because of COVID.
Yeah, last year kind of disappeared, but I remember the commercials with what was it, Mila Kunis? Is that right? Is that her name?
She does the.
Didn't she do like some big commercial where the Rick House like kind of exploded and it was about the future, not the past, or something? Totally making shit up now. Anyway, so we got this. We're going to do these when we hit 200 subscribers. We're going to sit down and have a little chit chat with everybody and sample these guys. But we got, a little Jim Beam, regular bourbon, the double oak, and the apple. Not
The
really,
liqueur.
yeah, I'm not looking forward to the apple one, but that's okay.
That's a shooter. Yeah. I will say, I remember all the other ones we've done, the proof was so much higher.
Yes, I mean, they're all high 120s, flirting with 130.
Yep.
This is 117, so it's a little bit lighter.
There's a couple that were...
What's this guy? I can't remember what... 122.8.
This is, I think, relatively smooth.
It is. There's not a... I know you said you got a little bit of a proof burn at one point.
The first pull. After that, I did not.
I did never gotten a burn off of this guy. I got a little hug before we touched the water. Now with the water, I'm not even getting the hug.
No.
It has a little bit of the, like, it's familiar. Is what I now just got a little bit of the cinnamon note. So now it's really starting to remind me a little bit more of Booker's. I got a little cinnamon. I got a little bit of peanut.
But the peanut is not.
No,
It's not overbearing.
No, it's not an overpowering.
Like they have
note.
been in the other ones.
Yeah, some of the Booker's ones, the peanut note gets crazy.
That lean more towards like the Knob Creek.
Right. And the cinnamon note that we get out of some of the Booker's,
Mm-hmm.
it's not there. It's just like a little hint of this, a little hint of that, which again goes back to, I think, the point of what Little Book is. It's not anything. It's just a little like a little bit of this, a little bit of this.
Yep.
I'm going to blend some things together and see what comes out. I think it's a pretty good blend.
Part of that tasting process.
I
Out of any series,
that'd be interesting.
you're not a huge fan of the peanut, like the Knob Creek peanut.
No, I don't like.
I don't mind. I actually kind of enjoy it, but to be a part of, again, we've mentioned on other episodes the thought process that goes. I'm pulling from here. I'm pulling from here. I'm pulling from here. I'm pulling from here.
Well, that's more Booker's. They're distilling very specific things for that. I mean, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, 100% malted rye,
Yep.
which they don't normally do. Like, they're doing some very specific and weird.
I'm curious on the rye. What's the variation on the ages that they're blending?
So it
Are they
just says
following
it's a
the
3-year-old, but a 3-year-old just means that the youngest one's 3, right? So
But
is
are
it
they
like a 3
following
to
some of the
5?
same? It's like a 2, a 3, a 5, a 15.
Oh, you mean when they come out with... That's a Booker.
No, I know, but the rye blend, are they
Are they blending that there? I don't know.
same? Are they the same thought process? Like if they stash barrels,
I don't know. I'm really looking forward to that.
they need to raffle one of those like things off to go up to Beam for like a week.
And like intern or something ish. Follow Freddie.
It's like the Reds. I'm sure most people, old timers, can go to spring training for a week. Like I want to go to Beam for a week.
I would love to do that.
I mean, there's a market for that, and every distillery should do that.
I mean, the charity dollars that you could pull off of, come be a distiller for a week.
Junior distiller.
Yeah,
An
whatever.
An apprentice.
They do it for movies where like you follow you can follow the director for a week or a day or whatever it is.
I would do that. My favorite like college and professional sports teams. I would just be on the coaching staff for a week. I just want to be a part of those.
Right. Conversations, meetings, just see what the process looks like.
Behind the scenes, what goes into it, and then be able, obviously, on the bourbon side, be able to
Sample an end product.
sample, but also be with like a master distiller. Like, what's he going for? What's he getting that I'm not, or what am I getting that he's not?
Yeah. I still always wonder, like, all right, we've sampled
God knows how many.
on the show, let's call it somewhere around 200 whiskeys. Let's just use that as a round number. All right. The only way you develop a palate is sampling multiple whiskeys and trying to pull out like little things. And that's what we do. Mm-hmm. And we do it almost every week. But
They do it every day.
somebody that does that as their job on a daily basis, what they're going for, what they're tasting, and the fact that they're also tasting in a much more narrow window than we are. Mm-hmm. Like we're doing bourbons, we're doing rye, we're doing scotches, Irishes, Japanese, Indian.
The whole rainbow.
We're doing everything, which is the whole point of exploring whiskey, is doing everything. But they're doing they have this narrow window, and the nuance that they're trying to get to, that's a whole nother level that
But to be able to pull a statement and be like, not ready yet.
Right.
Oh, this one's ready.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I think if this one give it 6 more months.
Do a touch of a thief and be like, ooh, all right, this is
getting. This whole area is gonna be ready to roll. Any distillers that watch this episode,
if they're looking for some free help for a weekend, I mean, I can't offer too much time, but
he can't. I'll splurge a week. But again, I mean, they all have their. I mean, obviously, the Bookers lineup. They're picking from different rick houses. Mm-hmm. And we've already talked about Buffalo Trace. They've got certain areas of the rick houses that are
the middle of the middle is like Buffalo Trace, and
they've already got that figured out. Like, it's just interesting to be able to walk around and be like, all right, this one's ready to go.
Yeah.
Or this area is ready to go. I think for us, if we did that, we'd finish every sample. Those guys,
they probably
it's like wine tasting.
Small sip, spit it out, something.
Spit it out.
Yeah. You're probably correct on that one too.
But if we're there for a week or a long weekend, I'm not spitting it out. I'm taking full advantage of the opportunity.
It would depend on where you're at and what you're doing. If you're at a Beam or a Buffalo Trace, it's a lot of whiskey to sip on.
You gotta have a little water with you too.
Sure. I would try to mimic as close as possible to the person that I'm following. I'm thinking that's the smart
Every
play.
other one I would enjoy.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Every other one, this one, or honestly, it's just the ones that are actually good. Like, that's not ready.
You're going to know. You put it in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm going to spit that one out because that's not ready. Ooh, that one's really nice. I'm drinking that one.
Well, this one was nice.
It's nice. It's a good whiskey. It is not, I don't think it's as good as Chapter 4. Chapter 4 had a lot more different notes and a lot of different whiskeys in it. So I thought that was a slightly better release. This is really good.
If you don't want your socks blown off,
this is nice.
This is nice.
It's also very expensive.
Those up there are a little more.
Yeah, but that's more
kicking the pants.
An $80 to $90 bottle, and at least it's quarterly, so it's a little bit more available. This is an annual release. 125 to 135 is probably what you're paying for this bottle.
So again, thank you, Greg.
Yes, thank you, Greg.
Pours.
So it is a little bit more. I don't know. This one came off. I don't know. I remember this one being just so totally different with the brown rice type notes and the sweetness that came off of this guy. This is a little bit more bourbon with a high rye bourbon. It's a really good high rye bourbon. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of just comes off as that. It doesn't have like a funny uniqueness to it.
Well, but I think we're also used to that, where it's proof,
those things blow you out,
and it's in your face.
Proof, peanut, cinnamon.
Yep.
Some combination of those three.
But this is a little more subtle,
a little more nuanced.
Yep.
Yeah. There's more. There is more to tasting a little book than there is a Booker's.
Mm-hmm. So no, this was good.
Yep.
Definitely appreciate the samples from Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Absolutely. Definitely like to track down the next edition.
2022, baby. Apparently they come out April, May, I think is when they come out. I'm not sure. But apparently my little honey hole in New Jersey has them. So
overall, it's a really good bottle.
It's a good bottle.
It's an expensive one. I think I would kind of say it's kind of worth it. Roughly.
Yeah.
$100 to $125. I think that
it's in the right ballpark for a higher proof, solid, just really solid whiskey. It's in the right ballpark.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, as always, we encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Let us know. Have you tried any of the 1, 2, or 3? What have you found out of those that was really good?
Or what's different?
What's different than the 4 or the 5? Any of those kind of things. And then, like I said, we are going to do, when we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to do a little Jim Beam sampler, just kind of hang out, see what happens. I don't know. I'm not sure if we're just going to do a Facebook Live. We might do that. We might do it live, see if people actually want to come hang out with us. But we're definitely going to, do a little contest, maybe give out a Glencairn or 2, something along those lines, and yeah, we'll have some fun with it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.